Hey everyone, it's Katie. I'm here today to talk about conditioning. I decided to do a little comic strip because I thought that would be a little bit fun, even though I am not good at drawing at all. So here we go. So this is my little informative character. Let's call her, I don't know, Robin. She'll be a Robin today. Okay. So, first off, what's classical conditioning? So, classical conditioning is when in a learning situation, the stimulus happens before the behavior. Stimulus, behavior. A good way to explain this is thinking about that mouse who has to push a lever for food. So, after pushing the lever and realizing it gives him food, the mouse is now going to associate pushing that lever with food. So he'd probably be pretty upset if he pushed the lever and no food came out. And now he's always going to associate seeing that lever with getting food. So what about operant conditioning? So that's kind of reversing the order. When you have a behavior and you want to reinforce it, you give a reward or a punishment after the behavior. A good example of this is teaching dogs tricks. So when a dog performs the trick, like in this picture, he barked, you would give a treat. And that would help you reinforce the behavior. The same goes for behaviors you don't want the dog to do. So now you could take the same dog and try to teach him not to pee on the floor. There's a couple options that you would have to negatively reinforce this bad behavior, so kind of deter the dog from it, and that'd be like yelling, rubbing their nose in it. Like I said, that's a negative reinforcement. Okay, so think back to the mouse example, and let's use that to talk about conditioned stimuluses and responses. So, mouse plus lever equals food, right? So when the mouse sees the lever, he has that conditioned stimulus, and therefore he presses it. Now, the conditioned response is getting hungry when they see the lever. Let's still talk about that mouse. He's a good example. And talk about unconditioned stimuluses and responses. So let's say we put a stone or a block of some sort that the mouse has to climb over to reach the food dish. Now he has to climb over this every single time to get to the food dish. Okay, so now he's associating that rock or block or whatever you put in here also with the food dish, not just the lever. Now let's say we move that block to someplace else in the cage. If he climbs over that block now, even though it's not near the food dish and he doesn't have to climb over it to get to the food, he's still going to associate that block with food. So he may end up getting hungry just climbing over a block now. This is what we call unconditioned stimulus. Okay, so what's different about these two kinds of conditioning? Obviously, it's the order of the stimulus and the behavior. So, in one, you have behavior first, and then the stimulus, which is a reward or a punishment, And the other one, you have the stimulus and then the behavior. It really all depends on the situation. And as for similarities, the biggest thing is they both have stimuli. And these can be positive or negative, doesn't really matter as long as they're there. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, guys.